Hi, and welcome to Blood in the Water, our Vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in Tampa, Florida. My name's Bolthra, your storyteller, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce my players. I'm going to start with Stan.
Hey, I'm Stan, playing the movie vampire dude.
Alrighty, and let's go to Jen,
I'm
aka
Jen, I'm
Layla.
playing... Yes, Layla
Sorry.
is a Toreador, and she plays the bass in an all-vampire band.
Okay, and then we have Silas.
Hey, I'm Aloysius, and I play Silas. He's a Ventru fixer, currently escorting Stan out into the parking lot away from some other guy who wanted to also escort him into the parking lot.
That's about right, yeah.
Well, we'll just do a quick recap, and thank you, Aloysius, for the partial recap. I appreciate it.
To be fair, it was the very last thing that happened.
That's fine.
It
That's
was,
right.
yes.
Yeah. A new kindred named Stan mustered his courage and went out seeking others of his own kind at a club named the Vale. His wish was soon granted as Stan found himself surrounded by vampires, with two in particular having a great interest in him. It seems the reward for finding poor Stan and returning him to the local Baron. With some trepidation, he watched the two hunters face off in the club, each intent on picking up the stray puppy. Taking advantage of a distraction, one of the hunters, named Silas, wrangled Stan and made a beeline for the front door. So we're picking up exactly where we left off in episode 1. As we mentioned, Silas is now guiding Stan to the door to head out. On stage, Layla and Weeping Shadow continue to play their song. She does notice them. Notices the pair heading for the front door. Looks like they're going to get a chance to get away. Miles Dixon, the biker, who had attempted to pick up Stan, wandered into the crowd and was now fixated by the music.
Yep.
And Layla's solo, bass solo, kind of comes to an end, and the song kind of starting to kind of grind to a slowdown. Miles, you see Miles kind of go. He kind of shakes his head, and he's kind of like turns around, and he looks back towards the bar, and the door shuts. As Silas and Stan have slipped outside. Miles you kind of see him start to walk through the Layla. You kind of see him walking through the crowd, and the crowd just like parts. They just know to get out of this man's way. As he just kind of stalks towards the bar, and he goes over and he's talking. You see him start talking to the bartender. We are going to switch to outside then. Silas and Stan, you're now outside, and you're going to need to make an exit from here. You are going to need to go to see Baron Underwood. Silas, you know that she maintains an office in the Wells Fargo Center. It's an office building in South Tampa. At this hour at night, it's probably close to midnight. It's probably only going to be about a 5 or 10 minute drive. But it is now up to you guys what you would like to do.
All right, get in the car.
Okay.
You can. We'll come back for yours. Get in the car.
Can't we just get both of ours?
Okay. How about this? We'll take your car, and then we'll come back for my car. Will that make you more comfortable?
A little, yes.
Okay, then get in the damn car.
Okay.
Can we get Taco Bell? No, kidding. Okay. All right. So you, Silas, then you know the way, and this would be a chance for you guys to talk if you'd like on the way over.
So you tend to just walk into people's domains without introducing yourself, or is this a sort of an isolated incident for you?
Listen, boss, I've been in this whole vampire thing for about... Vampire... Dan says counting on his fingers. 5 months? 4?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Not very long. No. Yeah, a couple months.
No.
You're from around here? Out of town?
Yeah. I'm near the area, but real quick, what's a domain?
It's basically where a certain kindred has sort of laid claim to the surrounding area, and since she's the Baron, that means her domain is rather extensive. She controls all of southern Tampa.
Okay.
Other people can have
Okay.
domain within her domain, but ultimately, if they start stirring up shit, it's not gonna be great for them.
Okay.
Storyteller note: there are 3 baronies in Tampa. There is east, west, and south, and you are currently in south.
Alright. Stan can get enough context clues from that Kindred means vampire. Hopefully. Okay, good. Okay, so it's kind of like this guy's in charge, the Baron, and then everyone below them is also working for him, and it just keeps going down until you get the bottom of the ladder.
Not necessarily. Some people can still be in the domain even if they aren't necessarily on board. So long as they don't cause trouble for her, or, go out of their way to piss her off or anything, then should be fine. For the most part.
Okay. Baron. Real quick, how did I not hear about any of this before I became a vampire?
I don't know. That's a great question. You tell me.
Well, vampires didn't really talk about it that much. Didn't know they were a thing until a few months ago. So
Did someone just, suck you dry and then just leave you in a ditch or something and you just woke up like this?
if I said yes, would you think I'm being sarcastic?
I don't know. Depends on how you say it, I guess.
Then yes. Yes, it did happen. Functionally like that.
They literally left you in a ditch, or is this a more metaphorical ditch and it was more like an alleyway or something?
Yeah, an alleyway. Metaphorical
Okay.
bitch.
So ditch adjacent.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, that was pretty irresponsible of them. Really screwing you over.
Yeah, but is there other ways they're supposed to do it?
Well, typically you're not a total asshole about it, and you actually stick around and explain to your newfound child what the hell's going on.
Oh, okay.
To each their own, I suppose.
I mean, are they supposed to ask them they want to be a vampire? It's like, surprise, you're a vampire now.
Well, that's pretty case to case, but most often than not, it's just like, yeah, I like you, dead, vampire. That works out
Okay.
for a lot of people at least, but like I said, most of the time, your sire will stick around and explain your new situation to you.
Okay, they explain the whole thing that's going on. Alright. Okay, so, do you know when we get there by the Baroness, I'm gonna find out who my vampire sire is?
I don't know. I don't know much of anything about your situation. Maybe the Baron knows more, and if she does, maybe she'll tell you, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, that's all saying.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, I'll just keep pointing out directions on
Okay.
where we gotta go then.
Does Silas need to make a pit stop for anything, or?
Oh, I think he's keeping it together
Okay.
for the moment.
He can hold it?
Yeah, he can hold it
Okay.
for a little bit longer at the very least.
Okay. Like I said, about 10 minutes later, you pull into the parking garage next to the Wells Fargo Center. It's empty at this hour. There wasn't even a thing up, to take tickets or anything. You know what level to go to. You've been here about 2 or 3 times before. You know there's a certain level, say level 3 in the parking garage, and no cars in there. You pull into one of the spots right by the elevator, and you know that you can take the elevator up to the 7th floor, but you'll need assistance in getting there. And as you get out of the car, close the doors, 2 security guards do appear, wearing like gray uniforms, and they come walking up, and they're like, "What are you doing here?"
I have a meeting with Miss Underwood.
And the one guard says, "Okay," gets out a walkie-talkie. He's like, "Got someone for Ms. Underwood?" And you hear back over the walkie-talkie, "Dispatch called in. They're clear." It's like, all right. So the guard walks over to the elevator, pushes the button. You wait a couple awkward seconds for it to come. Everybody just kind of standing around. When it does come, the guard steps in, takes out a key, inserts it into the panel, clicks it, then just waves you forward. And then when you guys are ready, pushes an innocuous looking button. Doesn't quite say 7 on it, but you see him push a button that just has really no numbers on it or anything. And then door shuts. And it takes a couple seconds, and then when the door opens, it opens up into an office lobby, and you see a kind of a glass wall in front of you, like that has like reception doors, and on the glass it says Consolidex is the name of the business. Now, super, super, super World of Darkness nerds will find that reference, but I'm not going to give it away right now. So when you get there, there's no one in the lobby, and the lights are just really dimly lit. But you know when you had been here before, Silas, that you basically just walk in. So.
All right, I'll pat Stan on the back and say, "Come on, pal. We're going in."
All right, it's been a few months since I've been in an office building.
And as you open the doors, you know that you're going to go to the left-hand side into a hallway. As you're walking along, you do pass this rows of cubicles. And there is actually one person at one of the cubicles, one of the front cubicles. There's this a young girl with just looks really frazzled. Her hair is kind of all pulled up and hanging in her face, kind of energy drink cans just lying at her desk. She's just working on a keyboard. She just kind of peers up over her glasses and just kind of watches you guys go by. You don't recognize her, Silas. So you maybe haven't been here in a couple of months. So, and she's just kind of peering up at you as you walk by, but kind of knows not to talk to you. As you walk down the hallway, you head towards, there's a corner office, and it's interesting. It doesn't have any windows on it, just a front door, or just an office door with a placard on the side that just says Cassandra Underwood on it.
I'll knock on the door.
Okay. As you're knocking, you hear the sound of heels walking towards you, like the click clack of stiletto heels. And if you turn around, it's Baron Underwood. She is a African American woman with shoulder-length brown hair. She's wearing all red, including her shoes are red. It's very tight, business look. And she smiles and says, "Silas, it's good to see you again. How are you?"
Baron Underwood, good to see you as well. I've been as good as can be. How about yourself?
I've been excellent. And who's your friend?
A little stray puppy dog.
Ah.
Hi, I'm Stan.
Hello, Stan. She reaches out a hand to you.
Stanton's like, oh, okay. So he shakes
Okay.
her hand.
And she gives you a firm handshake. So you're the one who was maybe left out in the rain. She's like, come on into my office, and she opens the door. This huge office with of course, the best view in the building of the city, view of Hillsborough River. She goes behind her desk, just lets you guys sit down in front of her desk. So tell me about yourself, Stan.
What do you want to know?
Well, who made you?
Did not know who made me. Happened, let me see, about 4 or 5 months ago. On my way home from work, after drinking with a few buddies. I remember someone came up from behind me and bit me.
5 months you managed to stay off our radar. You were noticed at the Vale once or twice, and that's how you reached my attention, and that's why we decided to see if we could pick up the lost puppy and bring him in. So it's good we found you. So you know nothing of what you are?
I know I'm a vampire at the very least. We have the whole spiky teeth thing. Can't go out in the sun. Holy water burns us. Can't get house invited. Garlic.
Okay.
Silas would definitely chuckle when he said garlic.
Okay. So you don't have to wear a cape or anything, right? You're okay on that stuff, right? I mean, you can wear a cape if you want to. It's you do you, but you don't have to do that, and But seriously, since you're essentially what we call clanless, you have no home, no family to rely on. But I am not as strict as some of our kind towards the clanless. My own clan, the Bruja, have had our share of troubles. We're considered rebellious by some. I think we're just fighting for our place in the world. There are certain rules, though, that you do need to follow. And they are known as the traditions. I believe the player, out of character, is probably knows the traditions.
Let me see if I remember. Don't tell other people you're a vampire. Don't kill other vampires. And 3 other ones people mostly ignore.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, I'm not going to go through the whole role playing out the the traditions, but we'll assume she goes through it with you. So, you are now under my protection. My rules are simple. Do not engage in any activity that will alert the kind to our presence. Avoid the mortal urge to text your compatriots. Phone calls and emails can be used to detect us and track our kind. If possible, deliver your messages in person. There is a courier service available here in the area, but its use can be quite expensive. Be prudent in your feeding. There are cameras everywhere in this city. I suggest having a private stock on hand. Otherwise, I honestly expect probably to never see you again, and if you never see me, that's probably a good thing. Are there any questions?
Alright. Yeah. Clans are like vampire factions, right?
That's a bit complicated.
Yes, yeah. And there are factions within, or factions that only have certain clans. Here we are, I like to think of us as factionless. The people in my barony can be really of any clan. I try to accept people without prejudice. Others of our kind can be quite prejudiced. And she kind of winks over at Silas. Present company excluded.
Appreciated.
But you shouldn't have to deal with any of that, pardon my French, bullshit here. If you go into the other baronies, they can be a little stifling, let's put it that way. I would be careful of leaving South Tampa, as the other areas may not be as welcoming as I like to think we are.
Alright, well, I guess I'm lucky I got into one of the more welcoming areas when I became a vampire.
I think you are. I'm still curious about who created you. We don't really like to have someone dropping off babies all over the place. So if we are at all possible to discern who your sire is, I would most likely try to do that. So what do you do with your time, Stan?
Well, honestly, been watching a lot of vampire movies at the moment, trying to figure out this whole thing. Yeah.
There are no sparkly vampires in my barony. I cannot speak for East or West Tampa, however.
Yeah, I realized that. First day, became vampire, I was like, time to go to work in the morning. Stepped my leg out, started burning.
Yes.
Realized there was no sparkles to be seen.
Yes.
I still do go to work, but virtually now. I have to do programming.
Mm-hmm. Programming. Are you familiar with Consolidex? Out of character, they are a investment firm who has recently gone into helping people consolidate their loans, debt relief. Not really the nicest company to deal with all the time on the surface level. We're just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, you would probably have heard of Consolidex. So I'm always looking for talent here.
Well, if you're hiring, it'd be a lot nicer to work at a place that I don't have to attend virtually every time, and I have night hours.
Well, as you see, we don't have much of a night shift here, but arrangements can be made. I can have you talk to my assistant, and perhaps we can find something for you to do here.
Also, real quick, I just remembered, Stan does not do like IT or programming; he's finance. Sorry.
Oh. That's fine. Redacted.
Statement redacted.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. We may have something in the finance area as well that we can that we may need assistance with. She'll look you up on LinkedIn, you know. So.
Well, if you're hiring, I'd be happy.
I think we might be able to make that happen, Stan. And Silas, and she opens up a desk drawer and slides an envelope over to you.
And take the envelope, and I'll just pocket it.
Okay. When you do open it, there's $2,000 in there.
Okay.
So, as always, it's a pleasure, Silas.
A pleasure as always, Baron Underwood.
If there's nothing else, I will allow you two gentlemen to leave.
All right.
All right.
I guess one question: who's the new girl?
That's Lissy, I think her name is. She's a little nervous. Seems to maybe a little too many of the energy drinks, I think, to work night shift.
Yeah, she did have a fair number on her desk.
Yes, gonna see if perhaps we can kind of wean her off those and get her to focus a little better without so many chemicals.
I was just curious.
Yeah, that was actually out of character. That was the first time you've noticed someone else in the office with her. Generally, she's the only one in the office at night besides, security guards in the building. So.
1 second, please.
Mm-hmm.
So, then I think what we're going to do is I'm going to step away for a second. We're going to go back to the Vale for Layla.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Back at the Vale, Weeping Shadow has just finished up their set. When you were leaving the stage, Miles was still there. He was just kind of leaning against the bar, looking a little sore. But you get off stage. The Vale doesn't really have dressing rooms. It's more of a
Right.
storage room / dressing room.
That's cool.
When you get off stage, was she wearing any kind of like big boots or anything like that, or
Probably.
Okay.
Probably big boots with
Yeah,
like a
so
lot of
she-
little like buckles on them, and a shorter goth skirt so it won't get caught in all the wires on the stage,
Got
that
it.
kind of thing, and probably something somewhat sparkly like this.
Okay.
So yeah,
See, there's your sparkly vampire. So.
yeah, that's a vampire.
When you get backstage, Amadeus, aka Luke, the guitar player, you see he's over in one of the corners. He's arguing with. You guys do manage to have a couple techs. You have a guitar
Yeah,
tech
yeah.
and a drum tech. They pretty much do everything else for the band. And Luke is. I just didn't like the tone on the Grand Deception. I mean, it really just should have been just a little bit deeper. I mean, I think you really gotta watch that. And he's sitting there just going into these technical explanations with the guitar tech, who's just looks exhausted, and he's just like, okay, I know. Donnie, your drummer, is shirtless. He's sitting on a folding chair, and he has two girls next to him. They just look like something straight out of the '80s. I mean,
Oh wow. Okay.
somewhere between Cyndi Lauper and a punk style. But they look like they're only about maybe 19 or 20. But for whatever reason, they seem to gravitate towards the '80s. And they're just
Back in style, I guess.
and they're just listening to him talk, and he's just soaking it in. He's just like, I think my style is a little more, aggressive, and I think, I could really use, maybe 2 kick drums instead of just the one. He takes a sip of something. Because the storyteller's losing his voice.
Something or
Right.
another.
Something, yes.
Exactly. And he's really kind of just bitching about things. And the 2 girls are just like, okay, that's just so awesome, And Darcy, your singer, who you know as Doyle,
Right.
it's just kind of leaning against the wall, just kind of watching everything unfold. And he's like, it was a good show tonight.
Yeah.
He says to Layla, it was a good show tonight.
Yeah. I think the Hot Topic kids dug it.
Yeah. I
I mean,
guess,
they'll grow into proper goths eventually.
I guess. I'm the baby goth for now. I mean, I guess we'll just,
Yeah. They'll get there.
Hey, you got a second? Want to
Yeah.
ask you something? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And there was a back door in the storage room
Okay.
that he opens up the door, and it lets out to right outside the club.
Okay.
When you get out there, there's like an empty truck bay that's used for loading in equipment and things like that, and a battered old green dumpster that's illuminated by an old street light. So really, that's about the only light in the area.
Okay.
He takes you out, as you're walking out, you hear some, and from behind the dumpster, a pair of amorous young men pop up from behind the dumpster, and they're pulling on clothes and oh hey sorry great show you know.
I'm glad you like the show.
And they go sprint. One guy's trying to pull up his pants, and they go sprinting past.
Okay.
And Doyle's
I'm
just
hoping that's not what you sent us out here for. I mean,
no.
what was this?
He's like, you know, he just yells out, you know, he's like, you know, try a car like we did when we were kids, you know. So he actually stops and pulls out a cigarette. It's just an old habit from his breathing days. He still smokes. He kind of offers you some.
Not my drug.
No. He's like, so he lights it. He just kind of sighs. He's like, you know, Miles is at the club tonight. We usually see him around here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I just figured I'd mess with him for a while. You know, it's fun.
He's bad news.
Yeah, obviously.
And he only seems to show up when he's hunting something. So, what was going on at the bar?
A couple of guys talking. Not sure if they're our kind or not. I didn't stick around long enough, but I had a really nervous young guy and an older guy that I think maybe I've seen around once or twice, but you know, sometimes walks through. Didn't really think much. I mean, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I just don't want the band to get into all those Kindred politics. Just want to stay out of that stuff. I mean...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, Layla, we're this close to making it, you know? I think we can get out of here. We can get out of Tampa. I mean,
bigger places.
There's a whole network of clubs and up in Atlanta, you know, like a real scene, you know, not with with baby goths, you know,
hot topic kids. Well, I mean, they can't help it. They got to start somewhere.
I
mean,
know,
you know,
but just it's it's in our blood. I mean, we want to be taken seriously as you know, musicians with our art,
right.
You know, and there's got to be something better than playing these shitty clubs.
Well, you got to start somewhere, though. And these kids, if they're that into us, they'll be posting it all over social media and stuff, talking us up, talking about how cool we are, telling their friends at school, you know. Got to start somewhere.
I guess, you know. I mean, I know we're supposed to be immortal, but I can't wait forever. You know,
yeah, I know. I get it.
Something's got to give pretty soon.
We'll get it. It just takes time. I mean, we're just, like you said, we're just right there. We're like totally gonna make it big soon.
All right. Well,
yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna stand out here and think. So.
Okay. I'm gonna go back in and laugh at Donnie, I guess. Yeah. Donnie. Donnie has the girl on each leg now. The girls are making out. He's probably got like a gob. He's probably got like a can of Red Bull or something like that. But you don't know what it's filled with. But right,
and he's just, you know, and he's like, hey, Layla.
Hey, you look busy, Donnie. I'm gonna leave.
he's like, yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
He's like, the show took a lot out of me, so he kind of gestures to the, you know, because the guitar tech and Luke are still talking.
Right.
So he's like, can you? And so Donnie's like, get them out of here.
Okay, I'll try. And I go walk over to them and butt into their conversation. I'm like, hey, Luke, give the guy a break. He's exhausted. He'll get your thing done. Just give him a minute. Okay?
All right, Layla.
Yeah.
All right. And he seems... All right, come on, Dominic. Just grabs the guy by the shoulder. He's like, let's go out to the bar.
There you go, Donnie. Bye. I'm walking out.
All right. You get out. There is going to be another... Actually, there's going to be no other band tonight. You guys were the only band tonight. There is the other tech, the drum tech, who looks like he's starting to take stuff down, and Dominic, the other tech, gets up and starts working with him. When you come back out, you do not see Miles. He is no longer at the bar.
Good.
Okay.
Kind of killing the vibe there, walking around all stocky and mean.
Being mean, just
Yeah.
looking off.
What
Yeah.
an ass.
So we are going to then switch back to Silas and Stan, who have finished their meeting. So they, I guess, are going to head back then to the Vale to pick up somebody's car. Yeah. Okay. Any conversation, anything on the way back?
So, you get what you want out of this?
I'm gonna be honest. I did not know what I needed out of this. This is more of like, you have to come.
I mean, that's fair. I did kind of say, well, it's gotta be, so fair enough.
I mean, in the last few hours, it's good to know there's more that are like me. And not all of them are trying to get me at my throat, but you know.
Yeah, like as a whole, you know, the Anarchs are pretty lenient when it comes to Caitiff because they get it.
All right. Anarch, is that one of them clans?
No, that's a sect. So that's like a group of clans, but not everyone in the clan is necessarily associated with them, but the clan as a whole is aligned with the particular sect. I know it's very confusing, but that's how it is.
Yeah. At this point, Stan probably has like a notepad. He's making all this stuff in it at like stoplights, so like clan circled, but not equals anarch. Kind of question mark.
Alrighty. So about 15 minutes later, you pull up at the Vale. When you had left, you had seen Miles's motorcycle, but when you pull up now, it's gone.
Oh, thank God.
It's about 1 a.m. The club is going to close at 2. So you are still able to go back in if you like. It's up to Silas and Stan.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back in. I'm here. Might as well hang out.
Okay.
I have nothing else to do right now.
Okay.
Sure.
I was going to say I don't think he has to get up early for work. So.
Right.
That's the mood.
Okay. Layla, while you're at the bar, the two gentlemen walk back in.
Oh, cool. They seem nice. Hi.
What's up?
Well, we're done for the night, but we'll probably be back another night. I don't remember our schedule exactly, but be there.
Well,
Yeah.
how'd the show finish up?
Pretty good, pretty good. I know the Hot Topic kids dug it, you know. They did, like, that mean guy kind of, like, cleared the room as soon as we were done, and they all just backed off, because...
Yeah, I noticed he's not here anymore.
It's not, yeah.
Thank fuck for that.
Uh-huh. I kind of messed with them a little bit to... I don't know what y'all were doing, but give you a chance.
Oh,
you know?
I had to
The other
take it.
reason he walked away?
The reason that he stayed instead of going after whichever one of you he's looking for.
That guy.
Okay. Well, it's probably good then, because he's an asshole, and, you know, I don't tolerate bullies. So, he got
He
to
is an
listen to our
asshole.
show for a while. I don't think he likes it, but whatever.
Well,
Well,
thank
you
for
know,
that.
you stayed a little bit longer, so something must have worked.
Something. I don't know.
The guitarist from Weeping Shadow comes preening over and leans on the bar, kind of like one of these kind of things. He's kind of looking He's like, so did you enjoy our show tonight, guys?
From what I saw of it, I saw the first half, had to sort of bail during the second half, but yeah, it's growing on me.
It will. I find our music is infectious at times.
I see.
Kind of looking at him like, that's the adjective you chose.
That's a bit of an ominous way to phrase that.
Oh, we gotta get you a thesaurus, Luke.
He's a guitarist and a keyboardist. He doesn't write the lyrics.
No, he doesn't.
Although Donnie is going to claim he writes the lyrics. But
I don't know why anyone would believe him, but whatever.
Then Amadeus will just stroll away, looking for someone to give him attention. And he wanders over, finds a couple of the Hot Topic girls, and starts up a conversation with them. And they just seem real excited to be talking to a rock star. So
There's going to be selfies for that one, I'm sure.
yeah.
They'll be on Instagram or something.
Exactly. So, bartender says, "Guys need a drink? You staying for a while, or?"
I probably won't be here very long. We're doing, as you can see, takedown on everything, and it'll be a little while. Probably I'll be gone. I don't think it'll take much longer.
You guys could hit Denny's or something like that, or
Yeah, that's probably it. Of course it is.
You could, yes, you could hit Denny's.
That's the go-to late night place.
Right.
When everyone's
Cheap,
high as hell.
Everyone's high or drunk, and
Exactly,
a
that's
lot of
right.
coffee going around.
Yeah.
We could do that, sure.
Just the classiest of establishments.
Of course.
If anyone can see, Stan's also writing down other places to find vampires. Damn.
He did. He did try Hooters and I think Applebee's and struck out there. So
I don't think Layla's revealed anything
no,
to that
No.
yet.
no. So she really. I think it's just names. I think nobody's really given away much information yet. So
Right. Yeah.
well.
But also, I would say, but also, I don't think any of us are blushed right now.
No.
We technically should be able to tell just by looking at each other.
Yeah,
You should.
probably.
You should.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So so that's really about the next hour if you guys just hang out, and then it becomes then that's when they're kicking all the normies out. Donnie does come strolling out about an hour later, blushed.
Do the two girls follow him?
They're just kind of following along, like this wow look on their face.
Well, at least they're adults.
Yeah, and he says, well, how are you guys are leaving, right? And they're like, well, yeah, I guess. Well, she drove, but I don't know if she can drive tonight, because And Donnie's like, yeah, sucks to be you. All right, good. Night, girls. And just turns his back and walks away from them and heads back to the dressing room. So
Real charmer, that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a decent drummer, though, so there's that. But,
So you put up with
yeah,
the
and
rest
like,
of it.
he used to drive, we had this, like, beat-up van that we'd, like, tear down into and, like, cram everything in, and he was driving it. I don't know what happened to the van, but, it's hard to get a drummer to play something this slow, So, whatever,
The girls do come walking over to the bar, and they're like, Layla, you're the best. You're like,
thank you.
You're like a goddess on bass. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's so nice of you to say.
Like,
It really
and they're
is.
just like slurring their words, just like, you're just like so
Yeah.
cool, I mean, like,
I'm gonna wave at the bartender and say they need some water.
Yeah, I was gonna say you girls might want some water.
Yeah.
And that starts sobering up.
You need to hydrate, seriously, here.
Maybe
No.
maybe have some, peanuts or trail mix or whatever as
Something,
well.
food. Yeah, probably food.
Yeah,
Food would be good.
I mean, they are very white girl wasted. So,
Oh, God.
you're just like the best, And bartender's like, all right, well, I'll take care of them,
Okay,
And,
yeah. Go talk to
cause
the bartender. She's very nice.
She's
She'll give you
in the
water.
middle of doing everything. She's trying to call a cab for these girls. So then,
I hope she's getting paid well.
Should be. She puts up a lot.
well, you're not quite sure who the owner of the place is. You just know it's a local interest. So, but she seems to be the regular bartender from when you've been in here. So, she seems to be able to hold the place down. But then, really, it's everyone clears out except for really the bartender has to lock up, and she's like,
Right, yeah.
well, guys, I hate to kick you out, but you can't stay, so...
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
Yeah,
so-
and I look over
yeah,
at the...
Yeah, don't have to go home, but can't
But can't
stay
stay here. You know that song too. Oh, nice.
Right. So...
Yeah, and I look
so-
at the stage and see if we've got everything packed
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Everything's down.
All right, cool.
The three other guys in the band are just kind of just leaning against the stage, like, just all in different, Doyle seems, like we're not doing enough for the band, and then the other two are doing bitch. One is bitching about their performance, and then the other one is just like, I'm gonna get some more girls. Donnie just seems to be looking at me. He's like, no, there's no more girls here. So he's like, Layla, come on, we're going.
Okay, all right. Well, nice to meet you guys.
Nice
See you
meeting
next-
you.
see you next show, maybe?
Officially as well.
Yeah.
Maybe next
yeah.
show. Whenever
Alright,
that
cool.
is.
You can check our social media. It's on there. I don't remember. Yeah.
Will do.
Cool.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah, just look for the band name, and we're the one and only. So, yeah.
All right.
All right. And I go walking over and meet up with the band.
Okay. So they depart. The bartender, who I need to come up with a name with, besides just the bartender, just kind of asks you guys again to leave, and so she can lock up.
Yeah. We're going.
Yep. And so you step outside, and it's just two of you in the parking lot.
So, you good?
So, I think so, Stan. You can still see him like writing down all this. Yeah, I think so. I think I have a.
What are you
enough
even
to-
writing down in there?
I mean, you probably know. He hands him it. It's like those yellow notepad paper.
Uh-huh.
He's already filled up the first like 15 sheets, front
like-
and back.
Just flipping through them. Wow. This is kind of adorable, not gonna lie. And then he just hands it back to him.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Also, on a general basis, just so you know, garlic doesn't do anything to us.
Like none of us.
Well, I wouldn't say none of us. Some of us more like superstitious types, it'll work on them, but on a general basis, it doesn't do anything.
Wait, excuse what?
Also,
So if I think the garlic will hurt me, the garlic will hurt me.
if you're that kind of person, sure.
True faith.
But I would say, and also, same goes for like holy symbols and that sort of thing. That doesn't work on us most of the time, unless A, you believe in that sort of thing, or B, they're being handled by like very specific types of people.
Okay. So, like, how do we find out this stuff does not work on us specifically? Because the way you're making it sound is like there's probably a small random chance we can be.
Well,
Like weak to
well, usually you come into contact with it, and if it doesn't work on you, it doesn't work on you. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think.
So just gotta like eat garlic and hope for the best to test it out.
You don't gotta eat it. But if you wanna, like touch it or whatever, then go right ahead. And if it burns you or whatever, then, maybe don't do that again.
Okay. And just so, one last question. It's all burning, right? The holy symbol's gonna burn, the garlic is gonna burn, the assortment of things we can't touch are all just gonna burn, right?
I mean, not necessarily. Sometimes it'll just, hurt you, on the inside. Like, you said something really cringy, and then you just die a little bit on the inside. It's kind of like that, in a way, sometimes. Sometimes it's very literal in the burning sense, but then other times it's like, no, I just kind of wish I were dead right now.
Okay, I think that's...
Also, before you ask no, you don't have to knock on someone's door and ask to be invited inside. You can just go inside. If that's your kind of deal, you can just walk in. Most of the time.
Oh my God,
so it affects some people.
That was getting annoying.
As is like everything. It's a case-by-case basis, but generally speaking, you're fine. Most of the cliches, you don't gotta worry about. Fire and sunlight, yeah, that'll fuck you up, though. So maybe steer clear of those.
I never get why that counts as a weakness. What isn't weak to fire?
I don't know. It's... it's like the staking thing, If a normal person takes a stake to the heart, then they're just dead. They're dead. I don't really see how that's a weakness. If anything, it's a bit of a strength that we can be staked and then not die immediately.
We don't die when that happens?
No, we just get, paralyzed or whatever. It's called torpor. You're kind of just frozen there. It's still not
effectively dead at that point.
Well, because you're, still conscious and stuff, so you're aware of everything happening around you. You just can't do anything.
That makes it worse!
I think that's a matter of perspective.
Okay. Thanks for the information. Is there any way I can contact you if I got any more questions or stuff to figure out about this?
You have a phone, right? I'd assume.
Yeah, but the boss lady said we can't really be texting each other, calling.
Just give me your phone.
Oh,
And I'll put in my contact information, and I'll hand it back to him.
okay. Thank you.
Maybe don't text me about that sort of thing, but if you want to meet up and have me explain shit to you, then we can do that.
Okay. Noted. Thank you.
Okay.
Alright, and then I'll, deuces, and I'm gonna go to my car.
All right. Okay. We're going to go first with Silas. He's going to head home. And he's about 3 quarts low. So is he going to get a snack before the night ends?
I think he's gonna do that when he gets home.
Okay. Family's asleep.
Yep.
This is the creepy part.
Yeah.
We can just fade to black for that for
That's
now.
fine. I'll just go to my sister's room and just take a, sink my teeth in.
Okay. That's going to...
And I'm gonna slake too, so I'm not gonna hurt her or anything.
Okay. That's perfect. Okay. So then we're gonna go back to Stan to finish his evening.
Mm-hmm.
He's just heading home then.
Yeah, heading home.
Okay. Alrighty. And I had one question. How does he get his supplies?
His brother works in the medical field.
Ah, okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, that will work. Okay. All right. That is where we're going to wrap up for the evening. Then, thank you very, very much to my players. I think we had a great session. We've dug into the characters a little bit more, and I think we're ready to move on to better and darker things. So,
All right.
thanks
Yay.
everybody, and we'll see you in the next episode.